Hi fellow crafters. Today I want to show you how to create 4 beautiful cards from one piece of cardstock. This technique is super simple and you can adapt it to any occasion you need. What could be better than creating 4 cards in one easy step? If this is your first time visiting my channel, hi, I'm Terri from nutsAboutStamping.com. I love sharing techniques and project ideas for rubber stamping, paper crafting, and scrapbooking with you each week. Be sure to hit that red subscribe button and the bell beside it so that you'll be notified when my next video goes live. Speaking of videos, watch all the way through this video for my bonus tips and design ideas. And if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator yet, I would love for you to choose me. I'll link to my online stores in the description box under this video. Now, let's get going on this fun technique. For my 4 from 1 technique, I'm going to be using the Cheerful Daisies bundle. You'll love everything you can do with this bundle. We're going to be using the solid images in this stamp set, which you would use for quick stamping in one color. The other images in the set are perfect if you want to add detail to the images that you've already stamped. And you can use the open line art images, like these ones, if you love to watercolor. The flowers, the stems, and the leaves in the dies are all separate, so you can create a single stemmed flower or create like a landscape with a bed of flowers and greenery. There's also a label die, here it is here, so that you can cut out a stamped sentiment and add to your cards. And here's how you create this technique. So you're going to start off with a single sheet of basic white cardstock, and then you're going to bring in your scoring tool. Okay, here's my cutter, and here's my scoring tool. And what you want to do is you want to score it. So I'm going to turn it. This is an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. I will put the dimensions in for metric so that if you have a metric pack of basic white, you can do this at home as well. So I'm going to turn it and I'm going to score it at 5.5. And then I'm going to put it back and I'm going to score it at 4.25. So basically, we are putting a score line at the halfway point. My 5.5 didn't show very well, so let me just make it a little bit stronger. Now we're not going to do any cutting just yet, but we're going to use these score lines as a guide for this 4 from 1 technique. Now, here's what we're going to do. I've got several of the solid images from the Cheerful Daisies stamp set. I'm going to start with this image. I'm using the smaller images in the set, but obviously you can use whatever size images you want. And I've got my boho blue ink pad. And what I'm going to do is I am going to ink and stamp the flower image on the cross point in the center of where my score lines intersect with each other. Okay, and then I'm going to take the sort of a half daisy, I guess it is, and I'm going to add that next. So basically what I'm doing is I'm working my way out from the center point. And it's just basically however you like. Now I've got this triple flower and I'm going to do it next. Hopefully you can see everything I'm doing. Again, working out. And I think maybe what I'll do is I'll put one of the larger daisies as the final one. Like so. Now, at this point, you just fill what you like, what appeals to you. So I'm going back to this triple, and I'm just going to fill in a little bit more white space. Now at this point I'm going to stop, and now I'm going to use my Daffodil Delight ink. And I've got the little center, the little flower center, and I'm going to ink and fill the larger daisy center by using Daffodil Delight, just to add a little bit more color and detail. I'm also going to do it on the half daisy like so. Now next, I'm going to use Parakeet Party, and I've got the leaf image from the Cheerful Daisies stamp set, and I am just going to randomly add some stamped leaves next. Okay, you can see that it's coming along nicely. Now the next thing I want to do is bring in my copper clay ink. That's another new color. And I'm going to use the splatter stamp from the Color and Contour stamp set. This is optional for you, but I'm just feeling the need for another interesting detail to add to my cards. So I'm going to ink up the copper clay, and I'm going to stamp off first, and then I'm going to stamp on. And I'm just going to randomly add several splatters on top, just to give it, I guess, a nice artistic and unique look. Okay, I'm quite happy with how that's looking. Now what you're going to do is you're going to come back in with your paper cutter, and you're actually now going to cut it into your 4 pieces. And there we go. Look, we've got 4 excellent layers for cards. Now what you want to do is think about what phrases you want. And in the Cheerful Daisies stamp set, there are 4 phrases. So I'm going to use all of them, 1 for each of these cards. All right, I have a strip of leftover basic white cardstock, and I've got my phrases mounted onto clear blocks. And so I'm just going to have fun playing with the colors that I've used on my card. So I am going to ink up the one that says, "Your friendship means everything," and that will fit beautifully inside the die. And then I'm going to use boho blue for 2 of them. The one that says, "Oops-a-daisy, so sorry." Hopefully I won't have to use that one. Then I've got "Wishing you the brightest birthday," like so. Now, the 4th phrase is really long, and I don't think it fits inside of the die. So what I'm going to do is ink it up, and I'm going to stamp it directly onto one of the card layers. So I'll stop the video, I'll go ahead and die cut out these 3 phrases, and then I'll show you how we can finish off these cards. All right, there are 3 of the phrases die cut and ready to go. And as I was die cutting, I decided that I wanted this to be on a separate strip as well. So I just stamped it on a scrap piece of basic white, and I trimmed it with my paper trimmer to make this cute rectangle. So now let's move to the next step. Now what you want to do is you want to pick your card bases. So I've decided I'm going to have 2 that are boho blue, 1 that is Daffodil Delight, and 1 that is Parakeet Party. So I'm going to then look at each one of these layers and determine how I want it to sit on my card. Do I want it this way? Do I want it this way? And then I'll also want to take into consideration my phrase And I think for this card, I'm going to adhere it this way. For this card, I know right off the bat I want to adhere it this way, so the card will open up like that. And then for this one, I'm going to do it this way, and this one, I'm going to do it this way. So I'll go ahead and use my multi-purpose liquid glue, and I'll adhere all of these layers onto the card bases, and the next step will be to add the phrases. Would you like to see another card idea using the Cheerful Daisies bundle? Well, why not watch this video next? Now, to attach my phrases, I'm using my main Stampin' Dimensionals, the larger ones, and then the mini ones. And I've already gone ahead and attached them on the back. And I think this is where the fun part comes in, where I'm going to attach my phrases. So I'll play around a little bit with this, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what it all looks like. And here we go. Here are the cards before embellishments. This 4-into-1 technique is so easy. It only takes minutes to create 4 cards. Don't you agree? Now, let's get on to some embellishments. I think I've decided I'm going to use these dots, which are the in-color dots, and they have the boho blue. And then I've got my Iridescent Pearl Basic jewels. So I'm going to use a combination on these, on my cards, and I'll come back and show you the final product. And here we go. Here are the final 4. And don't forget that you can use the Cheerful Daisies stamp set to add some color and playful interest to your envelopes. If you would like a complete listing of the supplies that I used, I will link over to my blog article in the description box under this video. I'll also include the product ordering numbers on my blog article in case you want to hop over to my online store and order these products to make your own 4 from 1 set of cards. I'm Terry. I am nuts about stamping. I'll see you at the next video. Bye for now.